Hopefully you've seen the video that we sent out earlier this week sharing with you the financial hardships that we are enduring. For some of you, it probably came as a complete surprise. How could we go so quickly from such a vibrant, dynamic, thriving congregation, a model of programming and creativity, to a synagogue that talked about survival? First of all, you should know that Temple Aliyah is not alone in this situation. Many other synagogues, churches, and other nonprofits are finding themselves in the same situation, this new reality. Memberships in these organizations are declining and have been even before the pandemic hit. That's the reason that the synagogue leadership has already been thinking about long-term sustainability of synagogue life. We're beginning to consider the changes that will be necessary for synagogues to thrive. That was going to be the future. And then with a suddenness that no one expected, COVID-19 hit. How did our financial situation become so severe so quickly? Well, first of all, just look at the world around us and all the businesses that are struggling. Unfortunately for us, it was the perfect storm of budgetary vulnerabilities. First and foremost were the significant revenue resources that we have that helped always to balance our budget. Revenues from our preschool, catering, rental to outside groups, after March 13th became non-existent. How much has our preschool been impacted? In any given year, we normally would have 140 to 160 students. We started school this year with 28 students. With the hope that students will begin to return, we want them to have a place to be safe, to celebrate community for parents and for their children. We're currently operating at a loss, but we believe they'll come back. Our Seventh Center Religious School is also down, which impacts membership and fees that we collect. Second, there are congregants who have been impacted by the pandemic. Probably many of you who are watching right now, requiring new levels of financial aid. As to be expected, we have had many people apply for the first time ever. People who are proud to pay full dues, who now have to apply and ask for financial assistance. Third and finally is the fact that we're not having services in person and that you're watching this in the comfort of your home. For a fair number of our congregants, connection to synagogue is through attending the High Holy Day services. Synagogues are grateful for their commitment. At Aliyah, the ability to come and sit with 1,000 people shoulder to shoulder and feel the power of community, it is empowering. But without the experience, many people are deciding, unfortunately, to opt out of membership this year. As of today, our membership is down about 40%, which apparently is about where other synagogues are as well. For us, this also includes a number of our ECE families who have not joined because their children are not attending. The video that we sent out presented a serious tone because our lay leadership wanted you to have the facts. They wanted to be honest with you about where we were. We only made it through last year, fiscal year ending June 30th, because of the PPP loan grant that we received that allowed us to keep our teachers and other staff members on payroll. So how we responded to these unprecedented financial challenges? Those of you who have seen the emails know that we've cut our expenses wherever we could, including cuts in staff and staff salaries. Earlier in the summer, when we were already anticipating challenging times, I approached some congregants who have had a history of supporting the synagogue. As a result, Jody and Howard Tenenbaum and Jill and Jonathan Manhan stepped forward and established a significant membership scholarship to fund those congregants who have suffered profoundly from this pandemic. In addition, Robin and Harley Frank are sponsoring our Community of Caring program this year. These are significant gifts. There are all others as well who have already stepped forward to increase their pledges significantly for the coming year, and we're grateful to them. We need them and you. Some of you have asked how much we need to raise, and we're working on that number. But there's still so many uncertainties, as you can imagine. It's going to depend on COVID-19, the willingness of their parents to send the children to school. So much is up in the air. No matter what happens, we know it's going to be a significant shortfall, very serious. It could mean that we need to raise 3 times the amount of money by donations than we normally raise in a given year. We need all of you who have the means to step forward in meaningful ways. This is an unusual year. And please know that without your increased support, our ability to maintain our programs may be severely compromised. The ability to meet your needs, the needs of our community. We may be faced with decisions about programming and staff that nobody wants to face. And our fear is that such cutbacks will impact further the future of our synagogue and the ability to function as one. I mentioned just earlier that the synagogue model would change. It has to in order to find a more sustainable model for the future. We have tried to be proactive in this area. You should have received information about our exploratory discussions with Shomrei Torah about a model of what a new synagogue would look like. One that could come together in amazing ways, not only to help our congregants, but to the community at large. It's going to take creativity like that to deal with the Jewish future. Those discussions are getting started, and I believe we have the courage to think creatively about the future. But at this moment, we have to think about survival. We need to come together as a community. You need to come together. We're in desperate need of new patrons at $5,000 and pillars beginning at $10,000 if you have the means. But this year, whatever you can give, we hope and pray it's going to be more than last year. We need it more than ever before. There are a number of ways in which you are able to donate. If you look back in your emails, through your box, you're going to find an email, be one coming out this coming week as well from our My Aliyah campaign. Click on that link, you'll find the donation. You can also go to our website and click on donate. Or if you prefer doing it the old-fashioned way, you are going to be receiving one of these that will look familiar to you. Right? Little tab, our usual pledge card. And if you feel more comfortable mailing that in as your commitment, just like you used to, you can. And we hope on Yom Kippur to be able to acknowledge all those who have been able to give thus far, because it's only with your assistance that we're going to be able to continue in this way. We've shared together family and community moments, celebrations and sorrows. It's now time for us to come together as a community to ensure our survival in these challenging times. Please help.